Hi there. I'm Anthony Morris, and I am a licensed realtor and mortgage loan originator. I live here in Sarasota, Florida. And today I wanted to create a short video to help the consumer perhaps better understand how to use Realtor.com and Zillow to more effectively conduct your home search. As we know, the consumer has access to a vast amount of information these days and can do a lot as far as researching homes that they might be interested in buying. So let me go forward to that. I'm going to share my screen here just a moment. And first we'll take a look at Zillow since most everybody's familiar with that. Now, let me, okay, so if I'm going to Zillow.com, let's see, I want to look in Florida. I'm going to select, in this case, just the whole state of Florida. And Zillow is going to show me pretty much everything that's for sale here. That down. Okay, so, but I want to point out some things about Zillow you may not know. Under the for sale in general, you can sub-select a lot of different categories. By agent, listed with a realtor, by owner, which you will not find on Realtor.com. You can select new construction, coming soon, auction, foreclosures. Well, let's look at stuff that's just actually on the market for the moment. Now, these down here, foreclosed and pre-foreclosed. Well, pre-foreclosed are not yet on the market because they're still held by the original owner. Foreclosed, these here have been foreclosed, but they're not listed for sale yet. They're owned by the bank, but they're not listed for sale. Now, these foreclosures up here are owned by a bank or lending institution, and they are available for purchase. So let's see now. So if we look at that category for the state of Florida, this is everything, whether it's agent, owner, new construction, foreclosure, etc., all those. Now we can also establish let's say a maximum price. Let's say 500,000 is going to be our maximum price. We can say we want at least 3 beds and 2 full bathrooms. Okay, that's done. And now, if we don't want to look at condos and all this other stuff, let's deselect everything and just select houses only, for example. I'm done with that. Further, if I wanted, let's say, a house with a pool, I can select on that. And that gives me just homes with a pool. Now, further, if you want to zoom in on just a particular area, let's say the Sarasota area, you can click this draw button and draw a line. Let's say Sarasota, Bradenton, General, this area here. I just want to look at homes in that area, and then I'm going to click apply, and that will screen out everything that does not fall into that funny little shape there. So these are single family homes up to 500,000 with a pool with at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and they all are in this geographic area. And then you can go into further detail and look at the pictures, of course, and read all the descriptions and that sort of information. And okay, so that's great. Let's just, out of curiosity, let's say if we only look at for sale by owner. Okay, well, there's not very many in there, just a few. But if you do happen to find a home that's for sale by owner and you're interested in it, you can, of course, work directly with the owner. But if you'd like me to represent you and protect your legal rights and so forth in that purchase, I'd be happy to talk to the owner, and they're usually happy to pay me like a 2% commission, and I can represent you, make sure that we're getting the best price. We can use a lot of analysis tools to make sure the price makes sense, and I can help you out. The paperwork is really quite involved, so I can make that a lot easier for you with purchase agreements and financing and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's Zillow. Now for a moment, let's go to Realtor.com and also search the state of Florida. Similar in many ways. On Realtor.com, if you want the map, you have to click the map button over here. And then it starts to look like Zillow, except that the map's on the right side of the page instead of the left side. So anyway, now on Realtor.com, as I mentioned before, everything that you see here is listed by a licensed real estate agent. However, let me point out, there are some listings that may not be on Realtor.com, because not every realtor posts their listings on Realtor.com or Zillow for that matter. So actually the third category, let me just briefly jump over here. This is what we call the multiple listing system. And this is how I look for homes when it comes time to really get down to the nitty gritty. And we want to, let's say, look at homes in Sarasota, Bradenton area. These are homes that are listed and are available, and they may not, most of them are going to be on Zillow or Realtor.com, but they may not all be there. So if you don't want to miss any opportunities, please, let's look at all three sources and make sure that we're seeing everything. But back to Realtor.com for a moment. So here's everything. We can select let's say our maximum price. Let's go to 500,000 again, maximum. We want to look only at single family homes. So we're going to screen out everything else. We want at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms. And now on the listing status, I strongly suggest click this button here. We want to hide pending or contingent listings, because those are probably off the market and probably not coming back, although they could come back. But currently they are under contract for purchase, and they're about 90% of the time you will not see those again. So, and if we wanted a pool, we also have that option, or whatever options you have here. A pond. If you prefer a pond to a pool, you can get a pond. Okay, so let's say we want a pool. Okay, so that's, we're going to save that, and that describes the property that we're looking for. Now, also kind of like Zillow, if we want to zoom in on a particular area, let's say Tampa, St. Pete area, we could click this little draw button here, and again, with our cursor, draw the shape that we want to look in, and all of a sudden it screens out everything that doesn't fit into that shape. It kind of, Realtor.com kind of does that automatically. Now here's some cool stuff that I just recently learned about. On Realtor.com, if you want to, let's say we want to look in Land O'Lakes area, or just around here, we can click on this button here, and this will give us a crime map, and it shows where the high crime areas are that you might want to avoid. So the darker, you can see by the legend down here, that the darker areas are high crime areas, or higher crime, let's say, and the lighter colored areas are not. So let's click that off. It will tell you some interesting stuff, like what's the noise, how noisy is it, where you want to live. Okay, you can turn that on or off. You can see where the flood zones are. You can see different amenities, restaurants, grocery stores, coffee shops, what have you. You can see a rapid transit system too. So there's all kinds of information, and school districts for people with school-age kids. So there's a lot of great information that you can actually get on Realtor.com that is not available on Zillow. Plus, being reasonably certain. Oh, and now let me mention this, because one thing about Zillow that's kind of negative is a lot of times the listings that you see on Zillow are either already under contract or they're sold. And so they're not as updated as Realtor.com. Realtor.com actually updates their database directly from the MLS about every 15 minutes. And so if you see a listing that says active on Realtor.com, you can almost 100% depend on that being an actual active listing. And that's not necessarily true with Zillow, so beware of that. And that kind of concludes what I wanted to talk about today. But I hope that's helpful. And again, whatever method you want to use, or a combination of methods you wanted to use to research, when it's time to get serious and you want to look at a property, please call me. And I can sell any property in the state of Florida or Indiana. I'm actually also licensed in Indiana. But my MLS area, let me cover one more thing real quick. I'm going to unshare, stop sharing, and then start sharing again. This This area right here, the highlighted area, shows my particular MLS coverage area. It is the largest MLS in the state, and I have a great deal of information about easy access, I should say. I can find information about any property in the state, but I have a little bit easier, more detailed access to properties that fall into this map area. So anyway, well, that's my video, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hope that helps your research efforts, and listen, I hope to hear from you. Have a great day. All right, I'm going to stop recording now.